Monique made a recent appearance on Shannon Sharpe's show, Club Shay Shay, where she addressed two incidents involving her and DL Hughley. During her appearance on DL Hughley's show, she felt uncomfortable with a game they wanted to play, as she believed one of the questions crossed a boundary of disrespect towards her husband. Additionally, there was a disagreement in Detroit where Monique was contractually slated as the headliner, but DL Hughley refused to go on stage before her because of his deal memo. Here's the video of Monique discussing the incident.
People begin to get comfortable to jump on the Monique bandwagon of Monique doing things wrong and she doing this and she doing that. And there's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because, what would you get ready to say?
I was going to say, what did DL do?
Let me tell you. Baby, that voice went up, didn't it? DL is friend. He like, that's my friend.
No, I've met DL on several occasions. I don't know DL like that.
Okay.
Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know, since I've interviewed Kat, had several conversations with him, do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
Right.
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. Mm-hmm. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forward, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
No.
Okay? Now,
Monique, you should have said I'm too old for this game.
Wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We're having a good time,
okay,
Shannon. Okay. It's the sister there and there's two other guys. We're having a great time. It's a beautiful Black unity cookout.
Okay.
We're having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family,
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. So here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother, DL. I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother, DL. I'm going to call my brother. I call DL Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling.
Right.
Like this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, DL. Yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like stupid. Like asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens. And his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started. Okay? It's family. My husband is my family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cat say they all a group, He forgot to put D.L. Hughley in the group. Through the years, I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'ma see you. I'ma see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see him. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'ma see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. D.L. Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed a contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you sign. The memo is saying this is what I would like.
Right.
But the contract is saying this is what it is. Okay?
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community. And that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headliner.
Right. I mean, you go last.
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I have to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went out on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you. And I said some things on that stage that I said he was cowardly. And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? And then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. See, you came after my husband. And when you had a chance to fix it, when you had a chance to say, Mo, my bad, you know, we don't even get down like that.
Right.
You told me it is what it is. And until he's brave enough and courageous enough to say, this is what really happened, y'all. Y'all have never known me to be no shit starter. Folks ain't never known me to go over and kick a sandwich out of somebody's hand that's hungry. But what people do know is, if you kick me, damn if I ain't gonna kick you back.
Right.
Because that's fair play.
Right.
So there was one left out the pack. And when you have people that continually don't take accountability, that's why you see us in the state of affairs we're in.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer, Mo, that everybody don't play the same. And someone once told me, what is joke to you is death to someone else.
What is joke? That's why we don't play with people's families.
No.
When we had the Monique show, the radio show, listen, you can't come on here and speak ill of no one because we don't play like that because we know how this business works.
Right.
So when you allow that to happen, what do you think is going to come back your way? What do you think? And D.L. Hughley, please, no, brother, we still love you. Just take accountability for it. And we move forward.
I remember reading something about the situation in Detroit. I didn't know the depth of the magnitude of it. I remember reading something about a memo about, I guess it's an addendum that was added on, but the contract is the contract.
The contract is the contract. And what happens is because of the messenger, it was easy to pile on. It was easy to pile on. And then when you have some of our black folk that go sit in front of a white man and speak ill of their people, I'm like, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we coming to that we're going to sit in front of this white man? I can't even say his name. I refuse. Everybody know who he is. We sit in front of him and we just let this man say any and everything about us. And then we go right in with him. Now see, that to me is dangerous. And y'all babies that's good with this little computer, don't take my word. You can just go through the years of this cat just running his mouth. And it's like, stop doing that because what are we saying to the babies coming behind us?
Here is D.L. Hughley's response to what Monique had to say about him on her appearance on Shannon Sharp's show, Club Shay Shay.
Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. So Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something. or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It's also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who, as a comedian, talks as much shit about everybody else as she does, she has the temerity to be offended about anything as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that, because Monique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was molested, and Monique brought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history, because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people, except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you, not even your family? How do you, I was on the road, get it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
My babies. We ain't done this in a long time.
We ain't done it in a long time.
We ain't done it in a long time, Daddy. Look, y'all don't even understand why we smiling so hard, because we was able to get it set up. We was able to push the button. Hey, come on now. We want you babies to come on in here. First of all, how y'all doing? It's been a minute, my babies.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Life been lifing. Life been lifing. Where we at, Daddy?
What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, I think it's enough babies in there.
All right.
In the room. Let's go get it. Come on.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We just wanted to take a few minutes to address a couple of things that have taken place after the Club Shay Shay interview. Much love to Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
Good brother. Thank you for allowing Monique to come on the platform, be a listening ear, continue success on what it is that you're doing. Thank you for being a real one.
Yeah, baby. Thank you. Thank you.
We wanted to address first and foremost our brother, D.L. Hughley. And we are firm believers on what is right and what is wrong.
Yes.
So we got to start off by saying there was an inaccuracy as it regards Monique saying that there was a cease and desist that was given to DL to shut it down. Mm-hmm. What had taken place, to be accurate, was after Monique spoke to Brother DL on that conversation, Brother DL said, what?
Well, after we spoke on that conversation, when we hung up that phone, the last thing he said was, it is what it is. And I said, DL, then we're going to have to get our attorney involved. That's the last thing me and DL Hughley said on that conversation.
And after having that conversation with Monique, we went and got our attorney involved, Attorney Anderson. At the time, there were some emails that were transferred back and forth between his side and our side, and it escalated to a point when we had our attorney on the email, whereby then finally DL said that he would scratch the interview.
Yes.
So it was inaccurate that a cease and desist had to be given. However, that was the next step, and that's what Monique remembered, because when I discussed it with her, we said that would be the next step. But to DL's credit, at that moment, when it had escalated, that's when he decided to shut it down. However, that is a bit different from how it seemed to have been communicated, whereby on the phone, they were having a conversation and it was kumbaya. Though he never used those words, kumbaya, It did not end with her being under the impression that this was going to be resolved and shut down. So we wanted to make that clear out of love and respect for Brother DL. And despite all the commentary that he gave, with all the crunches she be doing, the captain's in the front.
I do.
And
I do.
tell her.
I'm a sneak snacker, baby.
And she doesn't sneak when she snacks.
Okay. Hey.
But nonetheless, we wanted to be clear because at the end of the day, we black folks in this world of entertainment. And there was a level of harshness in his return that seemed a little bit exaggerated for the moment. And we wanted to make it clear, and I think Monique can do it best when she speaks in reference to what she meant while talking about DL in the past.
You know, when I watched DL say, she went after my wife, she went after my daughters, I want to really be clear who I went after so that there's no confusion here. When I was on stage, when I'm on stage and we are performers, we are performing to the audience in front of us. When I was on that stage and I said it must be hard to perform oral sex.
But differently.
Okay, on a coward. That had nothing to do with Mrs. Hughley. That insult was directed straight to you, DL. That had nothing to do with your wife. That was straight to you. So it felt like you were trying to pass it off as if I was going after your wife. When it comes to your daughter, to the baby that you did a post about, you did an interview about, I didn't do that interview. I simply reposted what you said. So when you say, Monique, you went after my daughter, that's untrue, DL. I posted what you said. And then when you said when you were really going for it with your shades on, and you said, Monique said, I stood by and watched my daughter be raped. DL Hughley, that's your conscience talking to you, brother. I never said that. I never said that. And I want to be a little clear about something else. Never would I try to do anything to harm any of your babies, because we got babies too. So never would I try to do anything to harm your children. However, what I was saying to your daughter and to the other daughters out there, I know what it's like for your daddy to know you've been touched and he not protect you, because my daddy did the same thing. That's what that whole point was. But I was showing why I would call you a coward, brother. I don't think it's brave that you didn't protect your baby. So when I said what I was saying, let me be clear to you, D.L. Hughley, it had nothing to do in reference to your family, and you know that. Now, when you were speaking and you were going off and you said, what did you say? She was so offended by the game we play, but you didn't say what the offense was. And that's the part for me that is disheartening, that you continue to try to trick and smoke and mirror our people. If you're going to say it all the way through. When you say family is sacred, you are absolutely right, baby. You're right. But when you say would my husband rather, and you co-sign your team of people doing that, well, isn't my husband sacred? So you got to be careful in your words, because the very words you use, DL, they're going to come back, and they're coming back to bite you, baby. And what I also said on Club Shay Shay, when I looked in that camera, I said, DL, I love you, brother. And I don't know if you didn't hear that part, but we really do. We love you, brother. And if ever you get courageous enough to want to have a conversation, we're always open to it, because doing that, it shows how our community can get better. When you're wrong, as we have said to you, hey, brother, we apologize on that one.
Yeah, incorrect on the cease and desist. And I want to add one more thing. When you spoke in reference to your daughter being a reason why Monique stopped speaking about it, what you don't even understand, out of love for you, See, you can have a problem with your brother, but you're not going to take it out on the kids. And we respected the fact that she tried to defend you, but we got 3 big ass sons. That if we were to think about it in the same way that she thought about it, what would that be? But out of love for you, we're not going to go after your child trying to protect the father that she loves. But one could argue, based upon what you said about yourself, had you exhibited the same type of love and protection for your other daughter that your other daughter tried to exhibit towards you, there never would have been the commentary that you made about yourself. And I liken it to Brother Corey Holcomb, who I don't know. But I got a lot of respect for him because I heard him say something in an interview. He spoke about how Earthquake's son had came to one of his shows, and the young man was hesitant about introducing himself or reintroducing himself because of the rift between his father and himself. And Brother Corey was like, come on, man, no, you come over here and I'm going to give you love. Because that was between your father and I. And it made him reconsider the whole thing and reach back out to an old friend. In my humble opinion, that's what real men do. We come from the old school. We not going to have no problem with your children because we love them and we love you and we want y'all to win. Not at the expense of the community, though, being demeaned in order to get followers. But from the standpoint of if we come together, we're going to win just by default. So at the end of the day, when you get to talking about how Monique is not loved and this, that, and the other, that's your perception. But what I'll say is it is due to the love that we have that we're able to love those that say things that could be construed as hurtful, but we understand that the old saying of hurt people. So we don't take what you say personally, brother. And again, it's nothing but love. In addition to the fact, I'm Q-Sci-Fi. Just like you, except I've been in about 29 going on 30 years. I'm not going to argue with you, frat. Ain't nothing but love. So we wanted to extend that to you and let you know what it is. And again, if you ever want to speak, let's have a real conversation. But people needed to know where the confrontation on stage began, and it was from that day.
It was from that day. And once you own that day, DL, guess what, baby? We'll be good. Now, talking about we gonna be good.
Talking about we gonna be good and talking about taking ownership.
I want to talk to my babies at the Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club.
I want to talk to my babies at the Breakfast Club. Listen, oftentimes people don't know what a genuine apology will do. They don't even understand. It allows us to say, we accept that apology and we move forward, because today, y'all own that. Today, Charlemagne, today, Envy, y'all own that. And I want to speak to my baby, Just Hilarious.
Come on.
I want to speak to you, little sister. And let me speak to DJ and Leonard first. Okay, because I'm not going to do the nicknames. She's a beautiful asset sitting in that seat. Mm-hmm. And she's going to bring something very special to that show. And I know the community is agreeing with what I'm saying right now, because what that sister did when she sat in that seat, she was able to get y'all to see something and understand something that nobody could get you to see for years. For years. And just that baby sitting there with nothing but honesty. And said, no, we got to deal with this, y'all. We got to deal with this, y'all. You don't understand what that baby's bringing to that show. Because what she's not going to be bringing is, let's knock down, drag them out. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And because you babies owned it and you apologize.
We love you. And we loved you then. Not mad. And want y'all to win.
That's all. That's all. So if we start pumping out that positivity into our community, if we start speaking about the greatness that we are and the greatness that we're doing, guess what's going to happen? Now, do we still have to bring some to the mat and ring the doorbell ding dong? Yes, we do. But we don't love them no less, because at any given time, we could be brought to the mat. Ding dong.
Well, we make it a point of not messing with people that's not messing with us. And we hope that today for you guys, the feeling that Charlemagne got, Brother Leonard received from the community by big upping him for apologizing. It's kind of like a movie we used to watch with the kids called Monsters, Inc., where they would go in, they would scare the people for power. But then they found out laughter created more power. Y'all have the power to heal. Use it. Use it to heal. Use it to help folks. Don't hurt folks. Because what happens is, one of the greatest gifts we can have is going in our community and getting the love from our people. Forget Hollywood, because it's weird. Getting the love from our people. So we are proud of you. And I'm emotional about it, because I'm happy that y'all got an opportunity to do that for yourselves. And we love y'all, brothers and sisters. And Just Hilarious, keep that going. Keep that going, because you are a great addition. Because there were others that would have sat in that seat and would not have said a word. So, nothing but love and respect for y'all. And one last thing. Thank you, Charlemagne, for not calling a brother daddy.
Okay. Hey.
Thank you for not calling me daddy. You did the right thing, and you didn't owe me an apology. It was Monique. So, we love y'all.
You know, and we said before we came on that we was not going to be long, and we were just going to say, you know, what we needed to say. But I want to say to our community, don't give up on us.
In terms of our community.
Yes, don't give up. Don't give up on your relationships. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. You got to keep going and keep pushing and keep standing strong. Don't give up on your love. Please hear me, and I'm talking right to the sisters. Don't give up on your love. Don't give up on that man that's treating you in a way that you ain't never been treated. Don't give up on that man that's loving your babies, and some of them may not even be his. Don't give up on that man that is taking your shit.
Or woman.
Or woman. And still standing strong with you. Don't give up, y'all. So when people say, why does he have to be there? Because he makes me better. He makes me stronger. He makes me happier. He's made me a better mother, a better wife, a better friend, a better entertainer. He makes me better. So listen, y'all, if y'all got somebody that is making you better, if y'all got somebody that's hanging in there with you when you know goddamn well you should have been dropped off, be unafraid to hold on to him. Be unafraid. Is it challenging to grow up? It's challenging. It is, especially when we've been taught some shit all of our lives and we've seen it. It can be challenging. That is why, D.L. Hughley, I have no hate in my heart for you, brother. When I see you walking through the airport with a support dog, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, brother, if you have to have this.
Why you going after the people like you do?
Why?
It ain't necessary. Be funny without all of that. And when we speak about Oprah, when we speak about Tyler, when we speak about CBS, we're not speaking about them to call them out. We're speaking to call them up, because the same way that the Breakfast Club was able to say, I'm sorry, the same way Brother Lee Daniels was able to go across the stage and apologize, the same way that we were able to say, we are sorry, it was inaccurate about the cease and desist, is the same way that Oprah, who teaches master classes, well, sometimes we gotta love enough. We gotta love the teacher enough to sit them down and say, it's time for you to be a student again. Tyler Perry, it's like, brother, the world heard you on audio saying you were wrong. You cost our family tens of millions of dollars. We don't hate you. We love you because you were trying to do the right thing. But as Gayle King said when she did that interview about Kobe Bryant, certain people suggested that she just stay quiet, but she couldn't. Don't listen to people that tell you to stay quiet when you've done what you weren't supposed to do, when you've done wrong. Speak up, acknowledge it, because it helps us help the community. And guess what? We are only human beings. We are only human beings. And we got to let you know we love you enough, because we know that's all y'all are too. Despite people making y'all think y'all are more than that.
That's it, my babies. That's it. And, you know, we have always spoke about when it ain't been fair, but we try to make sure we speak about when it is fair. We try to make sure we speak about when people do say, you know what, let me show you what I'm about. And I want to talk to y'all about our brother, Cat Williams. Now, y'all know that is my fraternal twin brother, non-biological, okay? And I want to tell y'all about my twin brother, Cat Williams, baby. Guess what? I'm going to be joining my brother, my twin brother, Cat Williams, on the Dark Matter Tour. So I'm excited. We are excited. I cannot wait to see y'all. Connecticut. I see y'all tomorrow night with our brother, Cat Williams. Albany, New York, with our brother, Cat Williams. And I'll say this too. And I told him this. I said, for as funny and as talented as you are, your heart is far bigger.
Real talk.
And that brother done touched our community, baby, in ways that he's never even talked about. Those are the real ones.
Because as they say, real G's move in silence.
Oh.
That said.
Well, give me a kiss on that one.
What you say?
My
love
name,
y'all.
Oh, I was going to say my name is Monique.
Did you tell me they know who you are?
I did, Daddy.
Okay.
Shit, I forgot. We love y'all for real, my babies.
Thank y'all.
DL Hughley's response again after Monique and her husband addresses him.
All right, I'm taking time to respond to Monique again. She made another greasy ass video with her daddy. We kind of relitigating some of the stuff she said on Club Shay Shay, where she talked about how she was on the show and somebody, they played a game, Would You Rather? And I guess she felt like they insulted her husband's sexuality, which is interesting because she can always talk shit about everybody else's sexuality. But I guess her husband's sacrosanct. He's off limits. But a hit dog will bark unless his mouth is full. But she talked about, well, she didn't actually call her lawyer. Who the fuck would be afraid of your lawyer? Your lawyer, you mean the lawyer that did your contract? That lawyer, the lawyer from the firm of Negro from Ghetto, Got Him and Gone, that lawyer? Who the fuck afraid of him? He couldn't get your name right on the ticket. He gonna get it right on a legal document. It didn't happen because we decided it shouldn't happen. You didn't need to, because we respect people. We don't have to do things for clicks. They took it off because you asked me to, because I respected you at the time. You also talked about how I disrespect you on so many platforms. But you have this impeccable memory where you can tell to the degree, well, who did what to you and why and what happened, where you were. But you can't pull up one time on any platform that I said anything about you at all, because you know you're lying. You got that piece of paper and that big ass memory, but you can't pull one up. My biggest mistake is saying yes to you. I should have said no when you couldn't come on my radio show. I should have said no that I wasn't playing those dates with you. As a matter of fact, almost anybody who says yes to you at some point is in this milieu with you. Almost anybody. So I would suggest anybody out there, you can say yes to drugs, but say no to Monique. You talked about how my children, families are uplifted. They weren't when you were running across Vegas. The stage in Detroit. They weren't when you talking shit on social media. When you got your ass whipped and your tickets dropped, then they became off limits. But let's do this. Let's decide that you will treat my children like you treat yours, like you don't know them, invisible, like you have no relationship with them, like you're estranged. You're unfamiliar, like you don't know them. You also intimated that I was a coward. You know what I'd never do? I would never let my woman take care of me. I would never let my woman get evicted from her apartment. I would never let my woman has to ask another man for money. I'd never do that. Can your old man say the same? He loves you. Of course, he got to say that. You claim him on your taxes. He's a dependent. He's sitting there with you right now. And everything. Because it ain't like he does anything else. But you never address the salient point. I said that if you spent as much time writing your Netflix special as you did arguing about getting it, it wouldn't have been trash. It was. I didn't say it. I defy anybody out there. Stop listening to me. Watch it. Read the reviews. Read the reviews. You begged for something. You made valid points that women are underpaid, that they're not valued. That's absolutely right. So you would think that when you got a chance to do something that you could argue for, you'd be up for the challenge, but you shit the bed because you never are ready for it, because all you ever do is complain about what you don't have. You're never ready for the moment because you're always living in the past. I said it. If you spend half of your time doing, as opposed to talking about who didn't do for you and what they did for you, you'd be a lot further along. You wouldn't be evicted. You wouldn't be working for your man. You wouldn't be asking other comics for money. So you got all the ingredients. Take that piece of paper that you're running down the list with, and that pen that you got, and that daddy sitting next to you, and do what you can't do what you never do. Write a fucking joke.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until next time, be safe.